Here.
Trustee Spicone.
Present.
Trustee Chagru.
Here.
Trustee Wider.
Present.
Okay, thank you. Everybody's here. Please stand and join us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okey doke. Next item on the agenda is public comment, and just for the record, there's nobody in the audience, but I'll read this anyway. Public comment is an opportunity for residents to comment briefly on matters included on the agenda and otherwise of interest to the Board of Trustees. Public comment is limited to 30 minutes in total and up to 5 minutes per speaker. We'll take public comments first from the sign-in sheet in the order in which folks signed in. When you step to the podium, please speak clearly into the microphone, identify yourself with your name and address for the record, and please direct your comments to the board. I just looked at the sign-in sheet and there was nobody there. There's nobody in the audience. So we will close public comments for tonight. Next is the President's report. The only thing I have on the President's report is a reminder that Saturday, September 13th from 5 to 11 p.m. is Rock the Block. We hope to see a lot of you out there. Next on the agenda is the consent agenda. The titles on the consent agenda will be read by the clerk and approved by a single roll call vote. Any item may be pulled from the consent agenda for discussion or separate vote by any member of the board. Clerk Johnson, please read the titles.
6A, approval of minutes from the Village Board meeting of August 4th, 25. 6B, approval of executive session minutes from the Village Board meeting of July 21st, 2025. 6C, approval of semi-monthly warrant register dated September 2nd, 2025, totaling $2,337,750.99. 6D, resolution approving an agreement for the plat of consolidation and easement agreement at 85 South Old Rand Road, assigned resolution 2025-09-104. 6E, ordinance amending the Lake Zurich zoning code Title 9 and Land Development Code Title 10, private roadways, assigned ordinance 2025-09-624. 6F, agreement with Alpha Maintenance and Services, Inc. for the 2025 fire hydrant painting program in the amount not to exceed $27,900.
Okay, thank you. Are there any board questions, or is discussion desired on any item, or would anyone like any item pulled for a separate vote? Board? Nope? All good? Okay, then may I please have a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented, and a second, please. Motion first
Chagru.
and second.
Second, Bharadwaj.
Kathleen, please call the roll.
Okay. Trustee Bharadwaj.
Aye.
Trustee Marks.
Aye.
Trustee Riley.
Aye.
Trustee Spicone.
Aye.
Trustee Chagru.
Aye.
Trustee Wider.
Aye.
Okay, thank you. The consent agenda passes. We move on to new business. Trustee Spicone.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Mayor. New business, item 7A, an agreement with Chicagoland Paving for Well 12 and Ela Township Driveway Improvement Project in the amount not to exceed $145,000. In summary, the fiscal year 2025 budget includes funding in the water and sewer budget for pavement rehabilitation and improvements for the Well 12 parking lot and repairs to the Ela Township Knox Park parking lot. The need to repair the Ela Township driveway is due to a water main break in the winter of 2024, which caused the driveway base to freeze and weakened the underlying structure. A bid opening on July 30th, 2025 yielded one bid from Chicagoland Paving, whom the village has worked with on numerous paving projects. Staff requests awarding a contract for the Well 12 and Ela Township Driveway Improvement Project to Chicagoland Paving in the amount not to exceed $137,000 with a total budget not to exceed $145,000.
Thank you, sir. Mike Brown, anything to add to that?
Not much. 2 locations here that hope to get underway in the next month or so. It's unfortunate that we only saw 1 bid on this, but it's telling the story that everybody's busy. But looking at unit prices here, they seem comparable to what we're seeing on the road program. So we've worked with Chicagoland Paving, so no issues there. And that's it. This is a quick one in at Well 12 and the repair, so it's probably done within a week, 2 weeks tops.
Okay. Board, any comments? No? Nope. Okay, Mark?
All right, I'd like to make motion to approve I don't have it in here, to approve the project to Chicagoland Paving in the amount not to exceed $145,000.
Second, please.
Second, Shagru.
And Kathleen, would you please call the roll?
Trustee Marks?
Aye.
Trustee Riley?
Aye.
Trustee Spicone?
Aye.
Trustee Shagru?
Aye.
Trustee Wyder?
Aye.
Trustee Baradwaj?
Aye.
Okay, thank you. That passes, and that's the end of new business. Moving on to trustee reports. Are there any trustee reports or any stray board member comments tonight? Anybody down here?
I'd like to make a stray board member comment tonight. I think that was earmarked for me.
There you go.
Over the weekend, I think it was yesterday especially, there was some social media exposure about 7 Brew and some cones in the street. A resident tagged me in the comments saying, "Mark Spicone, what do you think about this?" So I reached out to Chief Hustack, I reached out to the mayor and village manager, Ray Keller, and here's what we know. That frontage road, I think a lot of people don't realize, because it was news to me, is a private road. It does not belong to the village. It does not belong to the state. It is a private road that is owned by the property owners of the businesses that are along that frontage road. The cones that were set out there that so many people were willing to say that they would just run over and destroy because they don't matter and it's on a public way. False. It's not on a public way. Those are private cones on private road. And it was an agreement that was set up between 7 Brew and the adjacent property owner to try and manage some of the traffic flow. So if people have any concerns or questions about that, that is the answer, the definitive answer that we have about why that occurred over the weekend that so many people were up in arms about. So again, if you tag us, if you reach out to us and ask us how we can help, this is how I hope we can help and continue to do our work to make sure everybody has a good understanding of what's going in and around our village. We'd prefer a direct message rather than a whole diatribe on social media to manage it, but if you reach out to us, we'll always be ready to answer, or at least find the answers and get to you in a timely manner. So thank you.
Okay, thank you. Anybody else? I second that, by the way. Okay, that's the end of trustee reports and village staff reports. I know we have one fiscal year 2025 budget update, and is that Rita Cruz?
Yes, it is. Good evening. I'm going to talk about 3 funds today. I'll talk about the general fund, water sewer fund, and then the 2 capital project funds. Sorry, I'm waiting for the PowerPoint to come up, unless I'm supposed to do something. Ah, there we go. Okay. No. Go back the other way. Okay, there we go. From a revenue perspective in the general fund, things are going well. We are definitely on trend for where we need to be today. Some increases we did have were grants because we had we did not know we were going to get the gun range grant, which I've not been able to say perfect for a while now. Permit revenue is also up as well. Community development is seeing definitely an increase in their permit fees, and that's just what we're doing and what's been approved at a board level, just moving through the process. Auto rental tax is up. Now I know it's $5,000. It's a ton, but not really, because on January 1st of 2025, the state of Illinois decided that the full 8% should go on an auto rental tax instead of just the 6.25. So we have an increase of about 100% of auto rental tax. So again, not a lot, but I just want to make it known. Last would be investment income. We're just the market is doing better, higher interest rates than what we expected last year, so we're just definitely above budget on that as well. From an expenditure side, we currently have 17 unfilled authorized positions. So that is obviously reducing expenses, but at the same time, it's increasing overtime and just putting more needs on staff as well from the departments. Again, that does offset each other, so there is some savings, but it's definitely still there. And you can see 17 would be a lot of positions. And most of those positions are in the general fund, not in the water sewer fund. Next would be the water and sewer fund. From an operations perspective, just in revenue and billing, it is flat, 50%. So we are pretty much where we originally projected to be. I think because you're looking at the billing as of 6/30, I'm thinking we'll probably be up a little bit, just considering in July and August, it was hot. So I think we're probably gonna be up a little bit when it's all said and done. Same thing with investment income again. It's just how the market is running. The home rule sales, the non-home rule sales tax, this board voted to add 0.5% of non-home rule sales tax as of January 1st, 2025, and that is directly going into the water sewer fund. I know it was budgeted in the non-home rule fund, but it's easier to account for it and more simple to just put it directly into the water sewer fund, because that was the intention of the board at the time to do with that money. So it is directly going in there. From the expenditure side of things, the transition to Lake Michigan water is on their way. We heard a few weeks ago from Bill Susi about where they are in the process. Right now, the village will probably end about $3 million compared to the $10 million budget for engineering. But we know it's just going to move forward, and it's just going to go to the next year as we do more land ac and other things like that to get the process going to be ready for 2028. The water main replacement project is almost complete. There are a few lead lines need to be replaced, but other than that, that is also ready to go from the water fund. And last would be capital projects. Again, it has that non-home rule sales tax as well, which I just spoke of earlier. So when you look budget to actuals in the actual reports I issue, it looks very low, but it's not, because it's actually just being recorded in the water fund. Again, investment income, it's doing great. It's not if you want to go buy a house or have loans, but it obviously from a revenue side, it's a wonderful thing going on right now. Last would be the OSLIDE grant. Paulus Park is on its way. Everyone sees what's going on there all the time, and it looks wonderful, and we'll wrap that up soon and some more next year. And then the Main Street beautification. Well, we all see, at least most of us in this room, every single day, get to listen to every single day, but it is definitely moving on, and it was a definite need to update the downtown, so that is also on budget and going as projected, so those two funds should end up pretty good at the end of the year.
Okay. That's it?
That is it.
That's it, okay.
We know the money's good because the lights are on outside tonight.
The new street lights on both sides of the streets, the lights are on tonight.
The lights are on as of tonight, so.
Yep. Do you got a minute to do a little update on what's going on?
Where we're at,
Yeah.
as far as the project?
Yeah.
Sure. So our focus at this time is the east side of Main Street. The west side being, I'd say we're about 80% there with some of the beautification improvements. We still have some landscaping to do in the fall on the west side, and then obviously final surface. But the east side here, the lights went on. The lights went up over the period of like last week or so. The new lights on the south side of the road. Brick
Lights on
pavers.
both sides of the street now.
Lights
right?
on both sides of the street. Yeah, it looks really nice, and that carries all the way down West Main as well.
Right.
So, the pavers are going in. The parking spots are under construction. So, hope to have that wrapped up here in the next week. All of the underground has been completed on the project. As Rita said, we got a couple of lead service lines that are hanging out there, but we could probably tackle those by the end of the year or sometime over the winter. No great shakes on that. But and then road resurfacing, the final. Hopefully, we can make some miracles happen for Rock the Block for maybe a binder. But all things, I'm going to give you the best case scenarios. It'll happen. But the honest answer is I'm not going to give you a definitive yes yet. But the show will go on. So it looks fantastic. If you get a chance, walk it. you know, being in this community my entire life, it's waited a long time to get a nice, fresh update to it, so it looks fantastic.
Good deal.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. Rita, thank you. Board comments, questions on anything? No? Okey doke. So anybody else on the board? No? Okay, well, that concludes our regular business for tonight. We will be adjourning to executive session called for the purpose of, and it's a long list here, 5 ILCS 120/2C21, review of executive session minutes. 1, appointment, employment, compensation, discipline, performance, or dismissal of specific employees. 5, purchase of or lease of real estate. 6, the setting of a price for sale property owned by the public body. And 11, pending or imminent litigation. There will be no voting action or board business discussed after closed session, so the adjournment of closed session will be the final adjournment and end of the meeting. So may I have a motion and a second, please, to adjourn tonight's regular meeting to executive session? Motion first, please.
So moved, Spicone.
And a second.
Second, Bharadwaj.
Sue?
Yes.
Okay, Clerk Johnson, please call the roll. I only do that to make sure everybody's awake.
Trustee Riley,
Aye.
trustee Spicone,
Aye.
trustee Shagru,
Aye.
trustee Wider.
Aye.
Trustee Bharadwaj,
Aye.
trustee Marks.
Aye.
Okay, we are adjourned to executive session. Next village board meeting, September 15th. Hope to see you all at Rock the Block on Saturday, September 13th. Stay safe, stay healthy. We are adjourned to executive session.